Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Coils of Destiny. This is a family-friendly Dungeons & Dragons live play. I don't know why I can't talk today. From the staff and friends of Engaged Family Gaming. 2 weeks ago, we had our episode 1 entitled Beginnings, and that video on demand is actually available on our YouTube channel right now. I am joined by a smaller panel than normal, as we have 2 people who are sick. And this is how it works when you play Dungeons & Dragons. Sometimes people just be sick, and you gotta roll with the punches, and that is what we are doing. So, best wishes to Amanda and Noob Mama, who are dealing with illnesses in themselves or their families. They'll be back, but I am once again here with with the remainder of my stalwart crew. Dana, who will be playing Rory, and Linda, who will be playing, I'm sorry, I'm blanking because I'm bad
Penelope.
with names, and I have to remember 2.
It's
Penelope,
okay.
And then Marie, who will be playing Talia, and my brother Michael, who will be playing Preston. And I'm saying he is my brother because everyone who watched the video is like, why are there 2 dudes? Why are there 2 versions of the same guy in this thing? And it's not, in fact, not 2 of the same guy. We're just related. So...
Genetics are strong.
Genetics are very strong. So welcome to episode 2. This week is entitled 2 More Cooks. As, well, you'll find out soon. I'm not going to spoil anything. So our adventure begins and returns. We don't have any announcements this week. We're not that cool yet. So our adventure begins this week, continuing from last week. As a quick recap, you crazy adventurers went off to go fight / interact with an army of crabs on the beach. The bard danced with the crabs and chased away 18 crabs that were the size of large dogs. And then you did battle with a crab that was like 15 feet across. You chased it away, but not after our brave ranger shot its arm off, and it ran into the woods. And so you brought its... So the adventure ended last week with you guys bringing this massive, like, person-tall crab arm into the chef, because he was offering you 50 gold for crab meat. Excuse me. And away we go. Thank you very much so the chef totally runs up to you guys as you walk in the door. And Chef Spriggan, who is a gnome, by the way, so he's like, 3.5 feet tall, comes up and just does like uppies at the crab thing. Like, he's really just standing at your feet and just freaking out, just wants this crab thing. But Preston, you're carrying this crab, you're carrying this. Oh no, you have it on tension floating disc.
I have Preston's floating crab platter.
Okay.
However, based on the timing, it's about to expire, and so I kind of just move the plate next to a table, and I dispel it.
Okay, so you dispel the crab plate spell, and with a thunderous rumble, it hits the table, rattles the plates, knocks over the little flower settled in the middle of the table, and there's just this giant crab arm. Chef Spriggan was like trying to like jump up onto the platter to grab it, and now he just runs up and grabs the front of the claw and like just throws it over his shoulder. Thanks, and then runs. And he just like he's trying to drag it, and it's not working super well for him, but he throws a bag of money at your feet. And then is just slowly making his way, dragging this crab claw back to the back of the kitchen. And Jezebel and Oliveira help him. And so they, in the goodness of their hearts, see that this poor gnome is struggling, and so they grab the crab claw and go back. And they say, go ahead.
I suspect Oliveira is highly motivated by food-based rollers.
I mean, she is being highly motivated by food. So the 2 of them join him and give you the go ahead to kind of go on in with your adventure, and they'll meet with you guys later.
Yep. I will enjoy my crab cakes for dinner.
Oh, there will definitely be crab to enjoy later on today. You hear Chef Spriggan say that as they manage to get through the back door. And as he shuts the door, Chef Light Arrow comes up and approaches you guys and says, "That was awfully fast. What happened?"
Well, as he says with a flourish, there appeared to be the crabs themselves were definitely there, and they seemed to be fixated and fascinated with the sound of the waves and this weird apparatus that we found buried in the sand. And I motioned to Penn, who probably scooped it up on our way out.
Probably.
Here,
So,
let's trade. I picked up the coin pouch off the floor, and I was like, I'll trade you. So just here, take the money. I'll take the rings so that I can
all right,
the artificer.
here you go.
So these seem to be somewhat magical in nature, as one who is a magnificent magician would speculate. But it's not something that I could make. And we checked with Olivera before she went off to go cooking. It's not divine in nature, so we suspect it's some type of artifice. And whatever this artifice is, it was attracting the crabs. So I'm hoping to get it identified and preferably dismantled, so that we do not become the Pied Piper of crabs.
Well, I'm a pastry chef, so that's a bit beyond my ken. But maybe you could take that to those new gnomes in town. Maybe.
Oh yeah. They owe me a favor. Well, I ruffle through my pocket, lift my hat, retrieve my IOU note. It says they owe me, so perhaps information is in order. I proceed to tuck it back into my hat and continue. All right. So Pin got the purse. I have the artifice. We have places to be, and one of them is not in this tavern. And I just softly whistle, and I just calmly leave the tavern.
So the rest of you see her just kind of raise an eyebrow at him as he does that, because he did just make a rather dramatic yet casual exit for no reason. But she, sure, yeah, I'll make sure that Olivera and Jezebel are kept busy. Come on back later on, and I'm sure there will be supper to be had.
All right, we're looking forward to having some great supper. Shall we go follow Preston?
Let's go follow Preston.
Yeah, let's
see what shenanigans he's up to.
Okay, Preston, where are we going since they're following you?
Well, the first thing that's going to happen is as they exit the tavern, they see me, hands on my knees, clearly panicked. I take a calming breath, and I just kind of square myself. I was like, all right, so, gnomes? Yes.
Sure, we're going to the gnomes.
Are you all right, Preston?
Remember how you said that I owe you a story?
Yes.
So, this tavern, this wonderful new tavern that's recently constructed, there used to be a previous tavern there, called the Three Marbles. Long story. Anyway, my last performance was in that tavern, and that's where I opened up a portal to the Feywilds. That was my last big gig, and it brought the house down.
Literally, huh?
I flick my wand, prestidigitation creates a rim shot that echoes through the air. So, forgive me if every time we're in that building, I might be a little put off, but we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I have not accidentally opened another portal to the Feywild. I have all 10 fingers, 10 toes, 1 wand, and he lifts his hat, 1 truffles, and
The most important piece.
There you go.
so that's why I've been awkward. But that's not gonna that does not impede my professional ability to be a upstanding adventurer. So now we have business to attend to.
Indeed. To the gnomes.
To the gnomes.
Time some artificer bros.
All right, so this is not a huge town. It doesn't take you very long for the 4 of you to go back to the kind of, it's almost like an open marketplace right now is what it looks like, with just boxes and half set up tents everywhere. And you see Snap and Pop doing exactly what they were doing before, unpacking their tents or unpacking their boxes and moving things into the building in the least organized way you could possibly imagine. This is not an orderly unpacking. This is a lot of taking stuff from one box, putting it into another, piling things up, taking things from one box that and just moving it back to the original box. This is just pure chaos. And I think it's, you get the sense that they're trying to keep themselves busy while the renovations are complete. But as soon as they notice you, Snap runs up. Hey, you guys have been gone. I mean, you haven't been gone for very long. What's going on?
Steve, I'm going to interject 1 second. Right now, I think we're the only ones that can see it. It's not on the Twitch stream.
Oh, I know.
The visual from. Okay, cool. Just doing my job, making sure you know what's being broadcast.
Yep.
Cool.
We're role playing right now, so I'm gonna.
Awesome.
I was gonna bring up the map right now.
Okay.
So
Just making sure there was not an oversight.
So
We saw some medium-sized crabs and thought those were pretty big, and then we met Jaimundo.
wait, how big is a medium-sized crab? Because a medium-sized crab is like this big, right?
No, a medium-sized crab is the size of a hound.
Wait, like a dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dog.
You saw a
Dog
crab
crabs.
the size of a dog?
Crab dogs. Yes.
And
Not
that-
just one. We saw a whole bunch of them.
A whole bunch of them.
About a score's worth, and then we got to play the would you rather fight 18 horse-sized crabs or 1 crab-sized horse, which was a terrible analogy. And as I fumble over my words,
Which one did you fight?
Oh, the big one.
Big one.
You fought
Just the big one,
You fought a horse-sized crab.
Yes.
Wow.
roughly.
Well, I mean,
Well, I spent a lot of
two
time
you
trying
didn't
to
make
run
it.
to it.
Oh no,
Oh.
they're currently
They're spending some time with crab meat and butter.
Oh,
and lemon, and then
They're having
forget
lunch.
And lemon. And lemon.
man,
You need acidity to cut through that.
I need.
That's
I-
true.
I mean, that sounds like a better lunch than we're having. And he shoots a sideways glance at Pop. So, what brings you back here? Are you gonna help? Do you want to help unpack?
Well, seems to me that I have an IOU from you for spectacles performed,
Okay.
and we have found a device on the beach which seems to draw the crab, and we need your artificer expertise to tell us what happened. I reach into my pocket and I pull out 2 entwined pieces of string that form rings.
Okay.
Could you
So
please-
Snap just hastily just snatches those out of your hand, and he like holds them up, and he runs his fingers along all the string. So these were buried in the sand.
Seems like it.
Well, that's neat. They look pretty clean for string that was buried in sand. But and so you see him start casting a spell.
Arcana. What is he
Yeah, go ahead,
casting?
make a check.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Sure. A 16.
Sure. So he's casting detect magic.
Fantastic.
And so he I mean, clearly it's got some faint magic here. We could identify it, but I mean, that would take some time.
We just it seems to be of artificial make. It's not something that I could enchant, nor is it something that our more divinely inclined friend could make as well. So we're
Okay.
hoping for an artificer's insight. I have my suspicions, but I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Okay. Well, we can identify it, but it would take us a little while.
I mean,
So-
that's sure we got
do you want to come?
time.
Do you want to come back tomorrow?
I mean, sure.
I'll just hold on to it because we're kind of busy unpacking right now. But tonight we could identify it, and then tomorrow we could tell you what it is.
Could you just do me a favor? If it seems to activate again, call the town guard and bring it out of town.
If it activates,
So this is a long shot, but it seems to be fairly faint in terms of magic, and yet it did summon a good variety of crabs. So one thing that never tells is their secrets, but I'll tell you one, and that is that sometimes you use a wand or a device as a transmitter or receiver of magical energies. And my
Talia, is
suspicion
he
is
magic explaining to me?
That's what it sounds like.
You know, I'm
Little bit.
a spellcaster of some skill, Preston. I appreciate you telling me how magic works. So with that said, you did make fire yesterday, or earlier on today. So we do owe you, and we will absolutely identify these objects. Very cute that you thought that the use of magic items was a secret to an artificer. But we're gonna identify this tonight. Can you come back tomorrow after we identify this? And yes, if it summons an army of crabs, we will make sure that no one gets hurt.
fantastic.
Also, we have a bucket of butter, so if that happens, let us know.
You have a bucket of butter. Why did
we
you
have
Giant crabs are around.
we have prepared crab based accoutrements.
I mean, listen.
There are lemons too.
Listen, I'm not here to judge what you carry around. He kind of takes the string and puts it, like, goes inside the door of the kind of building that is being rebuilt, and you see that he kind of puts it down just inside the door and comes out, and then immediately just starts skipping around, going back to what he was doing before, unpacking, repacking, moving, stacking. It's, like I said before, it's pure chaos. This guy does not know how to unpack, but he's doing his best. And you definitely see, tradesmen and carpenters and bricklayers, and they are trying to build, and the big thing they're trying to do is reinforce this building, is what you get the sense of. Reinforce it against what? Who knows? Although you could probably guess. But they are reinforcing the building, and it looks like it should be a pretty fun building once it's done.
Well, if Preston's story is anything to base why you might want to reinforce a magical building. Just saying.
I mean, because things happen.
Apparently, Feywilds pop into taverns now. But, hey, hello, cool jellyfish tank in the middle of the tavern. Just
I mean,
saying.
there's
Yeah.
that.
So, as he goes back to work, Talia, you are reminded that it might be a good idea to go check in with the boss.
Yes.
Just to let him know, just to keep him abreast of what's happening.
Guys, I think we might want to catch our patron up on all of our antics and what we found in his backyard.
You're probably not wrong.
Agreed. I think Brother Thaddeus would want to hear from us and get the latest update.
All right. So we head over to Thaddeus's house.
Yep.
Sure.
Sigh of audible sigh of relief after handing off the string.
So, you. Oops, here we go. So you are. Short walk, and you make it to Brother Thaddeus's office. He is super excited to see you guys as you come in. As the door opens, he throws his hands up as he normally does. Hey, welcome back, everybody. How did that go?
Good.
Well, we weren't expecting to see crabs dancing in unison, that was for sure.
Wait, there were crabs dancing in unison?
Yes.
Yeah.
As if wanting to impress somebody, and then we discovered the crab 4 times bigger than all of them. And took his arm.
Where
We
is
did.
it?
At the tavern with the cook.
Oh, we're gonna eat a horse-sized crab.
Oh, that's what
I mean,
they're
we hate
for.
to have it go to waste.
Yeah.
Sure. So, there are no more crabs on the beach causing problems for the people on the road?
They seem to run away after we disarmed
Ha! Ha!
their leader.
And then the leader also scurried away. Sans arm.
Scuttled, if you would.
Scuttled, yes. No, that's a much
So-
better word choice.
You know how
Sorry.
so you know how I've occasionally I have a favor to ask. You know how I occasionally have sent you guys on errands to collect artifacts for me?
Mhm.
Twice.
Okay.
Twice. I have a third one. The good news is that it's nearby.
Okay.
Nearby is good.
I suspect a but.
Well, I mean, not really, but it's just so it's nearby. The good news is that it is nearby, so we don't have to charter a boat or a caravan or find a caravan for you to go with. It's actually in a mausoleum in the nearby cemetery. There is a burial shroud that was placed there, and that was placed along with someone who died quite some years ago, and their heirs have decided that they would like to give it to me after I paid them for it and etc. and performed some other magical tasks for them. And I was hoping that the 4 of you, well, I was hoping that the 6 of you could go, but I don't see Odavira and Jezebel. But I didn't know if the 4 of you could go and retrieve it for me.
We certainly can.
Yeah, Odavir and Jezebel are a little busy with the chef and the crab leg arm. But we can handle this.
Sure. Yeah. So he gives you directions to the cemetery that is kind of just outside of town. I don't suspect that this would be a problem. This was I purchased the information about this burial shroud, and I purchased it from them to add it to my collection. And so I suspect that this will be rather painless. I just need somebody to go get it. I've got a lot of filing to do here.
So is there anything we need to know about this shroud that may be important in the acquisition or transportation back?
Oh, it's red.
Okay. That's helpful.
That's
Did we get the right one? Okay.
To my understanding, it's not magical. This is just
Okay.
an object of importance. The burial shroud was actually placed. It's in a mausoleum here. This is a burial shroud that was placed over the casket of someone who died, hundreds of years ago, as part of one of the earlier fishing families. So really, we're just trying to collect it so I can build, kind of a museum of sorts to recognize the importance of the fishing families throughout Wavecrest.
Okay.
Is that family okay with us desecrating the graves of their...
Yeah, I performed what could be described as miracles for them. I am a
okay.
cleric of some repute.
Oh no, we know that.
Yeah, so I performed magic for them and paid them handsomely in exchange. So I don't believe that the family will have any problem. In fact, this is fully sponsored. They just don't live here anymore. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
so
Cool.
they can't go
That's
get
good.
it themselves
Okay.
because they are the ancestors of this family. They have moved to the capital. So they're just
So
not-
as like the, gothy weird one of the group, do I know anything about this cemetery in particular? Like, do I know
Can I
that
have a
there's
history
like
check?
hauntings
Have a history
happening?
check?
Yeah, I got you. Hang on. +1.
And then if you also
Roll that
wanna do-
die.
Yeah, you can do a history check. Any of you can do a history check.
Yeah, I am rolling to assist Aurora in her recollection
Alright.
of memory. This is where we really.
I got a 4.
I'm gonna roll my history check as well because I have a little bit
yeah,
of
I'll
knowledge
roll
of the
too.
area. Let's see.
Okay.
I might know something.
Let's see if I
So-
know anything today.
So
Rory, Preston was trying to jog your memory, and he did succeed, so you get advantage on your history check. So you can try again. Because the 4 was not going to be good enough.
Does a 9 happen to be any better?
No.
I didn't think so.
That's
So
funny.
look at that, Rory.
Woohoo!
Okay, so two things. One, you know that. Do you know? Is there anything explicitly creepy about this specific dungeon, or not dungeon? This specific graveyard? No.
Ominous.
Well, I mean, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. There are no specific problems that you have never been asked or seen anyone asked to go put down undead or any weird creatures there. The standard problem of grave robbers and things like that. I mean, that's normal, but and you know that's happened in the past. But no, to your knowledge, there has never been a problem with undead at this place.
Okay.
And Talia and Penn, you guys
No, nothing.
You guys, I mean, it's a cemetery. You know where it is. Like when he describes the directions, you're aware of how to get there.
Okay.
So you're not going to get lost on the way. But outside of he's sending you to a cemetery to get a burial shroud, which is admittedly creepy. It's not you're not aware. This is not like a source of constant undead problems. He's not sending you into a place that has don't open dead inside on the door. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's our patron. He's gonna tell us what he knows. It's not like he's gonna be like, it would be funny.
Yeah, no, you guys
Getting my henchmen
you guys,
killed.
you guys have also not seen a significant number of undead in this area to begin with. This is not
No, this is
Here,
crab
this-
country.
Oh, this is crab country, at least for today. So, most of the problems that you guys deal with are pirates, and there's definitely a piracy problem, and there's also an issue with sea creatures attacking, but also goblins and other woodland creatures from the nearby forests encroaching on the town, which is encroaching on the forest. And so that's the combat that you normally see. I think you guys collectively have seen 2 zombies ever.
Okay.
It is not very common. So that's y'all's recollection of it. So does this set off your skeeve alarm? No. It does not.
So to the graveyard.
So brother Brother Thaddeus, he gives you the directions, and so it's a burial shroud. You'll know it exactly when you see it because it is a beautiful red cloth. What he describes is a beautiful red cloth that, although it is several hundred years old, it should still look relatively new. It was remarkably well made. it may have some light preservation magic to it, but he doesn't expect it to be an artifact of any real power.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
All right, so shall we start heading over?
Yeah.
do it.
okay.
I
So
mean, I've had livelier performances.
Boo.
Ba-dum-bum.
Boo. Okay. So
A flick of a wand kind of just does the whoosh.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're that's the you make the thing go. All right.
The
So
rim shot.
he tells you that it is. Excuse me. I don't know why I can't talk today. He gives you the directions, and it is a short ways down a road. And the road looks very much like this one. Hey, look, it worked.
There's a road.
You guys should all be able to control yourselves. If you can't, please let me know.
Never once have I been able to control myself.
And that's true. I've known you for 20 years. So, but if you can control your figures, please. If you can't control your figures, please let me know, so that I can fix that. Can you not control
Let's
your
doing
figures?
it on the Twitch feed again. Good.
All right, good. I can control my figure. All right.
And okay, so
Don't forget your possum.
yeah, so he puts him off on the side. Okay, so you guys
Truffles
are.
will be in his hidey hole. He will not be on stage.
That's fine. That's fine. So, the walk it's like a quarter mile. This really isn't all that crazy. It's the middle of the afternoon. Because you got the crab thing really didn't take that long. That's the advantage to doing all of your adventures in. Excuse me. The advantage to doing all of your adventures here in town. You get everywhere pretty quick. As you are walking, you've left the. I'm moving you guys myself, by the way. As you are walking, and I don't know why my tile sets are not loading. That is frustrating. You are. Having technical difficulties.
Story of my life.
Yeah. The map.
Hashtag signing in at 7:29.
Yeah, well, it happens. It could be like that. It won't let me see my monsters.
This is the
There's
story of a girl.
monsters?
This is the story of a girl who disconnected and stopped the whole world.
Yeah. Well, we only
And while
stopped
her
it for a few
webcam
minutes.
looks good in Discord, I absolutely love her. She's
Oh.
smiles. All right,
You're done for
that
at least the
is,
next
that
hour.
is my out of game pun.
I was gonna say, is there like a opposite of inspiration
Cool down.
for that? Point of exhaustion.
I loved it. Thank you.
Okay, so why is it not letting me see my monsters? All right, hold on. We're gonna have to improvise, guys. Sorry about that, everybody.
It's all right. This is the reality of
Yeah.
playing a game. Sometimes you have to improvise in all aspects.
It's
Be
true.
thankful that I'm not in charge, because last time I had to improvise as a DM, I pulled my mother's guitar out of her closet and made everybody hate me.
We're not doing that today. We're not doing that today.
But there's nope. I'm on cooldown. I'm not allowed to make a comment.
Correct.
They ran into a rogue bard.
You are absolutely on cooldown. All right, here we go. I found something. It makes me really upset that I thought I had what I needed, and it was a giant space hamster. And that's not what I needed. But I do have a giant space hamster if I needed it.
I mean, we could use that as a stand-in if you can't find what you're looking for. We could just theater of the mind what it's supposed to be.
You got it?
Yep. Bear with me, folks on the stream. We will be right back. Okay, we're back after some technical difficulties. So, as the group of you start traveling down the road, like I said, this is about a quarter of a mile to the cemetery that he said the burial shroud was at. You hear a commotion over a short hill with some kind of lighter, squeakier voices saying that you can't really hear out exactly what it is, but the message is give us your stuff, and then some foul language. And then you hear two deeper, gruffer voices, more or less violently saying no. What do you do?
I'm going to go investigate.
Yep, let's go check that out.
This is why Ping and I are friends, man.
Okay.
Into the fray.
I'm going to move the four of you guys closer to this thing.
Okay.
And you guys can put yourselves in whatever order you like. And what you see when you come across the hill are two Earth Genasi, big, beefy pro wrestler looking guys with like rocks covering all their skins. One of them has a very large axe. The other one appears completely unarmed, but they're both swole. And they are surrounded by a group of goblins. In as much as a group of goblins could surround these two very beefy guys. Like, we're talking goblins, they come up to like their torso. And the goblins are all, either short swords or a pair of daggers. And they're just, as you get closer, you can hear them just saying, "Come on, big guys. You're not too tough. Give us your stuff." And the big guys are just kind of...
I just silently motion to Penn, and I just shrug.
Hey, Preston, can you make some popcorn? I kind of want to watch this.
I mean, should we at least, strengthen numbers and kind of get ourselves closer and
Yeah.
then it's an even match at least.
I suspect we have a good deed to do for today.
I think.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right.
Miss Allie, if you could please make sure that you are between the goblins and me, and I will make some popcorn happen.
I can do that.
Okay, roll initiative, everybody.
All right.
Preston is acting on 17.
All right.
Rory is
Let's see.
also
Oh.
17.
Apparently, I might be kicking this off at a 23.
Okay.
I'll go last.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Rory,
Rory, what's your dexterity? Your dexterity bonus.
+3.
Higher than mine, so
Okay.
she wins on breakers.
Okay, so for the players, your order is Pin, Rory, then Preston, and then Talia. Then you'll see what happens as time goes. Rory, you're up first. What are you gonna do? Or not Rory, Pin, you're up first. Rory, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm just gonna move up right off of Talia's side. Just gonna move up just 2 squares, and I'm just gonna hold right here and just stay
Okay.
put.
Are any of you guys gonna say anything?
You know what? I think I will. I'm gonna call out to the 2 big guys. Hey, you guys holding up okay over there, or do you need some help?
They both notice you. They don't, so they both kind of notice you, but neither of them responds. They're kind of, back to back, surrounded by goblins. Next is
That's fair.
Rory. Preston, you're on deck.
I am going to knock an arrow and hold my action for any goblins doing any hostile actions to
Okay.
the Genasi or us.
So, opportunity to talk about the rules. So, technically, what you're doing is readying an action.
Yes.
So, for anybody watching, what that means is, as part of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition combat, you can ready an action where she can say she's going to do something. You say that you're going to ready an action. You say kind of what the triggering event is. And then whenever that triggering event happens, we kind of pause. And then she will have an opportunity to either do the thing or let her action slide. You don't have to shoot an arrow if you don't want to, but this gives her an opportunity to kind of slot in later on. So you're choosing to ready an action to shoot an arrow if one of them does something aggressive.
Yes, that is what
To
I'm doing.
you or them or anyone.
To anybody.
Okay. All right. Next is Preston and there is the big dudes are on deck.
I will shift into position behind Tally. I will ready an action to cast a spell if the goblins take a hostile action towards the Genasi or us.
Okay. The big guys are gonna come up. This dude takes a step. Oh, he doesn't take that much of a step forward. He takes a step forward towards this goblin, and gives him a shove in his head, kind of like just a huh, and shoves the goblin back 5 feet. Just one-handed, just palms his face and just shoves him away, and says, "You guys knocked that off. We're bigger than you. I'm not giving you our stuff." And then he kind of just poses. And then that's his turn. And the big guy with the axe, it is worth mentioning that the axe is on his back. He's not, he's not necessarily trying to kill these guys. Does the same thing to the goblin right next to him and just kind of shoves him off. "Hey, we're not giving you anything, punks." And then he draws his weapon. Talia, you're next.
Okay. How far am I?
There's a measuring tool.
Yeah, I just gotta. Oh, neat. All right. Then if that's 25, then I'm just gonna stand here.
Cool.
Both of my swords are out.
Okay. Sure. All right. So you're gonna move, draw weapons. Fair enough. As soon as you get in a position, the goblin that's kind of in the back on the hill here, I'm kind of moving him around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks up. "All right, everybody, let's get him!" And he moves in right next to you, Talia, and he's got 2 little knives, and he just kind of. He's gonna try and give you a little shank right in your gut.
Whenever he is done, I am letting my arrow fly.
Sure. And then does a 23 hit?
Nope.
No. Really?
I have
Okay.
28 armor class.
That's not possible.
Hold on.
Did
Pause.
Is that not possible?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
possible. 28 is like godlike.
Oh, well then.
What are you wearing for armor?
Well, the last time I put this together, you told me I didn't add my
You didn't
mail.
add it at all.
Yes.
So do you have So I think you have an 18
Okay.
because you start with 10, and then you added chainmail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the chainmail gives you an 18. It doesn't add 18. It used to be in previous editions. We're all remembering 3rd edition. It used to be that all armor gave you like an addition. Like it would be like if you're wearing chainmail, it gives you +6. Now this is just what your armor class is.
Oh, okay. So yes, it does hit.
Okay. I was about to say 28. That's pretty good. I mean, you'll probably get there by the end of this game. Okay. So he stabs you for 1 point of damage. His little pokey dagger. Beak. "I'm gonna get you!" And so he's like right next to you. Rory, he has taken an aggressive action against someone. Are you going to shoot?
Yep. I am letting that arrow fly.
Okay.
I got a 19.
That is good enough to hit this guy.
Okay. So 1d8 plus 3.
Yeah, okay.
11 points of damage.
Okay, so the arrow hits him soundly, and he just collapses to the ground.
Night, little man.
And he just kind of falls over, and as soon as he hits the ground, you notice that the other 5 goblins get visibly shaky. Preston, you're up
Um,
because you have a ready to action to cast a spell.
yep. As someone who would like to minimize bloodshed, potentially, because that one committed a violent act. So the other three haven't. I'm
There's
going to
5.
cast.
Just so you know,
What?
there are 5.
Oh, need to scroll the screen over more. I am going to cast my cantrip. I'm going to cast a firebolt at the feet of this snappy boy right here.
Okay. Sure.
I'm going to give him a case of hot foot, and I'm going to attempt to intimidate him.
So you're going to shoot at the ground. I would like you to shoot at disadvantage. And what we're going to say is if either one of them hits him, it hits him. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
But we'll take the lowest.
Well, I am a little bit of Preston's bad luck strikes again.
Okay.
And so he tried to give him a case of hot foot and ended up giving him a case of actual hot foot.
Yep.
And I deal 4 points of damage to him.
Okay. So you shoot your firebolt. You're trying to shoot at the ground next to him. You hit him in the calf. And you hear like this really high pitched like squeak. As the fire just kind of for a brief moment bolts up his shin up to his knee. He doesn't fall over though, although he looks bloodied. So he's quite hurt. But he kind of looks at you and was like, "Man, what was that for?"
You're hurting people.
He is hurting people. And so as soon as you are finished with that, the goblins, like, he just trucks. Talia, you can take your reaction if you want, because he's going to start moving this direction, which is in the general direction of the forest. Like, they'd have to run for a while, but, like, they're running away from town. So he goes, are you going, you have the opportunity to use your reaction on an attack of opportunity. Are you going to?
No, if he wants to run away, I'll let him.
Okay, so he runs. This guy runs. Well, this guy can't run. He is incapacitated. This guy, very carefully tries to just go and doesn't get very far. This dude right here is just gonna run through the middle, and the big guy with the axe is going to take an opportunity to swat him on the backside with the axe as he goes. And so the goblin just runs up to the hills, covering his butt. Ow, 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 my butt! And runs. And so are you guys going to let the goblin flee?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the Genasi guys don't pursue either. They kind of give a look to the one that was arrowed. Thanks to the assist. I think we could have handled it, but made it easier.
You're welcome.
So the unarmed one. My name's Bo. His name is Ro. We're related.
I
Couldn't
can
tell.
see the resemblance.
And as soon as you say that, the two of them look at each other and then they pose like this. We're just trying to find. We're just adventurers, just trying to find an honorable death, and that was not going to be an honorable death.
No.
Well, why are we looking for an honorable death?
Well, we don't want to do it today, but if we're gonna, we want it to be an honorable death. Well,
Hopefully a long, honorable life first.
Well, I mean, yes, that is true. But, we keep it simple. But we didn't want to die to the little goblins. That would not have been the way to go. And we were just visiting the cemetery, and we were coming back, and because there was nothing there, and so we were coming back, and then these goblins came out of the tall grass and jumped us. Well, tried to jump us.
Can I insight check them that they found nothing?
Yeah, I mean, you can incite whatever you want.
$22.
They found a cemetery, so technically they didn't find nothing.
I mean, yes.
Technically speaking, they found something, but no, they were not. From as far as you can tell, when they say they found nothing, they mean they found nothing.
Okay.
But I mean, that was a good enough roll. Technically, nothing would mean that there was no cemetery there, and so like, technically, there's a cemetery there.
I mean, yes, but it's just
I
more
wanna
of a like, were they hiding the fact that they found
Nope.
loot or interesting artifacts that they
There
are
was
talking
nothing interesting about the way that they are speaking. They, as far as you can tell, they appear to have been wholly honest with what they saw. You also kind of get the sense that if they wanted to lie, they really couldn't. These are not the brightest bulbs in the box, if you know what I mean. You definitely sense that. The lights are on, but like, you know, it's a part-time residence.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're the brute squad.
Yeah. They're the axe bros. So not really. I thought that was just funny to say. But so where are you guys going?
We're going to the cemetery.
There's nothing there.
We need to go pay we need to go pay our respects.
Oh, okay. Great. So we'll see you around then. And the two of them just kind of walk towards town.
Cheerio, bros.
Just so you guys know, Bo is the guy that has no weapon. Ro is the guy with the axe.
Got it.
I just got that whole picture.
And neither of them, neither of them sound like you think they sound, Marie. So, the rest of the short walk goes, uneventfully, right? You know, you do kind of, if you pay attention, you definitely see the goblins like kind of they peace out and then they stop for a minute to like really catch their breath, and it's just like it's like a first grade classroom, like kind of that just got done and they're just like totally out of breath, like. And then as soon as they can move a little bit more, they just go. Like they are not interested in any of the mess that you guys are. After a short time, you guys, is anyone going to do anything about the goblin just dead in the middle of the road?
I mean,
I'm gonna clean his body,
yeah.
or investigate it. I'm not gonna, cause
You're
ew.
gonna clean his body.
I'm just gonna get some scrub brushes. No, I'm gonna loot it. That's the word I was looking for.
So he has two.
Make it clean. There we go.
So he's not wearing any armor. The clothes that he's wearing are, they're goblin-sized clothes. They're not particularly, they're just kind of poor fabric. His weapons are just a pair of little rusty, dull daggers.
Did he just give me tetanus?
We'll find out.
Don't worry. Don't worry. That doesn't exist in this world.
Neither did crab raves until you guys decided to start yakking at me. So.
That is true.
So anyway, so he really does. So as you're rifling through his pockets, you find like some jerky that is an unidentifiable meat and a few copper pieces, but nothing of any real value.
Okay.
So you would say that nothing of value was lost.
I mean,
Or found.
or found. What are you gonna do with the body?
Itch it
We
to
need to
the
get
side
that
of
off
the
the
road.
road. Yeah.
I mean,
We need to at least get it off the road. Is there like is that a rock I see up ahead a little
Yeah,
bit, like
sure.
kind of where they
There's a
headed off
rock.
to? Let's Like, let's put it behind the rock at least, so it's.
So if his
Out of
friends
sight.
want to come run out of the forest to get him, they don't
can
have
come
to come
fetch him if
far.
they want to do something. Exactly.
Sure. All right. So you move the goblin off to the side of the road. Totally fine. There's a rock. You put him on the other side of the rock so it's not in view of the road. And there's even some tall grass around it. You kind of throw him in the tall grass, fold it over him, and kind of make him not visible to the road itself. By the time you're done with this, Ro and Bo are out of here. Those guys are, they just high-fived and just walked away. This is like Riley and Jonesy, the barbarian and monk. You know what I mean? If you watch Letterkenny, you know what I mean. They're just chilling. And so you guys are, so once you dispose of the goblin body and get rid of, and, kind of get rid of it, you can finish the rest of your walk, and you arrive at the cemetery. I gotta bring Truffles back so I can copy him. Because I don't think I put you guys on that map. Whoops.
No battery.
Okay.
No battery.
Oh. Here we are. So, you guys, after after the rest of the short walk, you arrive at the gates of the cemetery. It looks like every cemetery you've ever seen. So all of these like little vertical, or all these little rectangular gray squares are headstones. They all say names of various dates. The ones that the things that have like kind of crosshatch on them, using Talia as like a little game, like a little indicator. These things, those look like graves that have been dug but haven't been used yet. Looks like they're kind of getting ahead of things in case in case they need one. And then obviously the up and to the left is a building that you can't see inside because it doesn't have windows. It's clearly a mausoleum.
Okay.
Forgive me, I had to use Fog of War because I didn't have a roof to put on it, so I did my best. And it just looked, so the front door of that mausoleum appears to be made out of, from here you can tell it is made out of stone. As one does. And right in front of you, I have Talia and Penelope up front, is just a metal gate. It appears to be latched shut, but there's no visible lock. It's just kind of latched so it doesn't blow open. You know how those go.
Yep.
And what do you do?
Open the gate.
Sure. You open the gate, and it opens. It's a little creakier than you would like, but not to the point where it's creepy. It's not like one of those things. It could use some oil, but it's not bad. It opens in, so you're able to kind of push it in and walk in.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Walk towards the mausoleum.
Sure. So you guys can control your characters. Let me know if you cannot.
All right, we're gonna head right for the mausoleum because we know that's where he told us it would be.
Yeah, my only concern is whether or not we might get harassed by goblins and their friends on the way back. We gave them a mercy, but they might
Die if I sneeze on them?
Yes, but we were trying to be merciful, and they might take that as an invitation for more trouble, and they don't want this smoke. Because next time I won't aim for their foot and miss.
Well,
No.
why am I talking?
Let's focus on this first. All right. Is the door locked?
Not visibly. Just looks
Yes,
like
I
it is a.
Try to open it though. Is it actually locked?
No.
Well, before you go to,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say before we try to open it, I'm gonna check it out and make sure there's no traps or anything weird that might be problematic or dangerous for
Sure.
us.
You are welcome to inspect the entrance.
Thank you. I'm going to inspect. And so is that an investigation check?
Yep.
Okay, it's making sure I have the right plus on there. Okay.
Preston will put a wise eye on it and investigate as well.
All right. I'm not very good at investigating this door, apparently. Oh,
Apparently, Preston decided that he was distracted by the thought of goblins.
You know what? It's a pretty cool stone door. It's pretty cool. So Thalia, you push the door. Because it doesn't have any like visible handle. So you kind of just pick a side and push it, and you get lucky and push on the side that like it's hinged at, and it moves. But it's got some resistance to it because it is a pretty you feel like there's some heft here. So just kind of pushing it open might not be enough. It feels like you might need to like put some real power into it.
All right. I mean, you want a strength check?
Yeah. But it doesn't feel locked. Like it moved. Just, it moved like you tried to push something. It's like you tried to push a refrigerator. It moved. It just didn't move.
How tall is the mausoleum?
The mausoleum itself is about twice as tall as you are.
Fantastic, thank you.
It's 11.
I mean, it budges like an inch. Bear with me, everybody. Hold on. Yes? That's a lie.
Do. I am sneaky and suspicious.
Okay, so you give it a good shove. It moves an inch or so. I mean, it's clearly moving and you're making progress. But you get the sense that maybe you might need help.
Hey guys, I have the sense that I might need help. Someone
let's
else
work
push
together.
the door with me.
I mean, I'm not very strong, but I'm happy to put my little strength behind this.
Sure. So, how many people are actually going to help Thalia?
I am not.
So
Strong.
2 of us. I mean, I'm not strong either, but I
So-
figure strength in numbers.
So, Thalia, the 2 of them are kind of weak, but they do give you advantage on your next strength roll. So give it a shot again, and we'll see what happens.
17.
There we go. Much better. So with a 17, the 3 of you, like Thalia is pushing, the 2 of you put your backs, the 2 other ones just kind of put your backs into it. And you push open the door. And let me get my little tool here so I can reveal some stuff. Why is it not working? There we go. So you open it, and it is, so you get like a view of one of the one of the kind of caskets. It's a stone casket, so you get one of those, and you give it another push. Whoa, I'm not using this tool correctly.
Want me to roll again?
Nope. I just need to do the reveal thing correctly and not ruin everything. So bear with me here. I'm still learning how to do the polygonal one. You open it up. And you see like a skeletal figure lying on one of the one of the stone slabs in the back corner. It, as the door opens, it sits up and looks at you with glowing yellow eyes. Everyone roll initiative and put yourself
Oh dear.
in position by the front door. You also do very clearly see on the center platform thing a red cloth. Like it's a
Okay.
very bright like this notebook red cloth kind of on the center platform.
Acting on 17.
Okay. I rolled a 16.
I got a 7.
All right. Sounds good to me. So, let's see here. So it is. It's almost like we're in order here. Pretty well. So it's Thalia, then Linda, then Preston, then Rory.
All right.
And okay, so Thalia, you see the skeletal figure kind of sit up and look at you. What do you do?
I'm going to move over to him. I'm assuming he's this white dude in the corner.
Yes, that is a skeletal
Okay.
looking. That is the skeletal figure that you are looking at. First off, is
All
it
right.
cool looking?
Just so everyone, so our viewers know what I'm doing. I'm going to use one of my maneuvers as a battle master and use a menacing attack. So if I hit it, I can use an extra D8 for damage.
Sure.
And
Nice.
if he fails a wisdom throw, he is scared of me until my next turn.
Sure.
So let's see. $23.
To hit, yeah, that's good.
All right. D8. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Hang on. And then plus 2. Ouch. Okay. 5 damage.
Okay, so you swing at him. You clearly hit. You know, it's like bones covered in like kind of scraps of armor. You clearly hit. Two things though. The first one being it does not appear to be afraid of you. But you get the sense that it might not be able to be afraid at all. But the other piece is that it does appear that your attack hit true, but did less damage than you expected to.
Oh, yes.
Um,
But I get what you mean.
on top of the fact that you rolled like garbage, it also appears to not do as much. Follow is Pin.
All right, I'm going to step up.
Oh, and I should reveal more areas.
Sorry.
Since you're all in here.
Oh, we got twins. All right, I'm going to step into the room and I'm going to shoot at. Now that I see the other one, I'm going to shoot at the one on the lower end of the mausoleum since Talia's dealing with that one. So I'm going to use my short bow.
Since we're both acting at the same time, can I attempt to speak before Pin takes her action?
I mean, I'll allow it, but generally, no. You're not really acting at the same time.
Use a flame bolt. It's what I can say in a short burst.
Okay. She doesn't have to respond.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to shoot at that. Let me see if I can hit him.
Okay.
Let's see. 13 to hit.
That is good enough.
Woohoo! All right. Let's see how much. 5 points of damage.
Okay. So you hit, and an arrow gets like kind of oddly lodged in between one of the bones and like a piece of like scrappy armor that's attached to it. But you notice that even though the arrow hit true, it doesn't do quite as much damage as you might expect it to.
Got it.
Next is Rory. No, Preston is next. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rory's last.
So I move into position. I don't go into the actual mausoleum, but I do shift to get to the door so I can have a clean line. The one that Tally's fighting. I'm gonna shoot a chromatic. I'm gonna shoot a chromatic orb at the skeleton. I'm going to choose flame.
Okay.
And away we go. Does a 12 hit?
It does not. You throw the chromatic orb, and it kind of bounces off the wall like a marble and fades.
Rats. And I end my turn.
Okay. And next up is Rory.
All right. I'm gonna shoot the one that Tally is attacking
Sure.
with my longbow. $15.
That is good enough to hit.
Seven points of damage. And then can I Swarm Keeper him as well?
Yep. Yes, you can. So what that means for those watching is she is a swarm keeper ranger, and what that's a subclass of ranger. She has a constant like murder of crows around her at all times, and she can have these spiritual ravens follow her attacks and deal damage.
So they did 6 piercing damage.
Okay, so it likes that. Does it like... Okay, so it likes that. And then... And how about now? Can you guys talk?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
We're here.
Okay.
We're here.
Okay, we're back. We are back. Oh my goodness, what a moment. Okay, so for those watching, now that Discord, today is a hot mess. I'm gonna rename today's episode "Hot Mess Express" on the way.
I'm cool with that.
Hot Mess Express on the way to the cemetery. So, the last thing that happened is Rory shot an arrow, and then it was accompanied to its target by one of her murder of crows. The way that the damage works on that, Dana, is you notice that the arrow strikes true, but it does not deal quite as much damage as you expected it to. However, the damage from the raven does.
Okay, so
So
the
you hit
Raven
it.
does full damage.
Correct.
Got it.
Now it is this guy. Let's see here. And okay, so Talia, does a 20 hit?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Now that I don't have superhuman.
I mean, listen, I didn't tell you how armor worked, so that's on me.
I could have read the whole book.
I mean, yes. Okay, so you take 9 points of necrotic damage, and then I would like you to make a Constitution save, please.
Okay. Just one
So
of
the
the, oh no.
skeleton
One.
creature kind of reaches out with its hand, and it glows like this sickly black and green, and he touches you on the shoulder, as if to say, "Hey."
13.
Okay, so as he touches you, you not only feel the damage, but you feel that negative energy kind of like radiate through your body. Make a note that your maximum hit points have been reduced by 9.
Oof.
Okay. So 9 more?
No. Not 9 more. So if you were at full, you took 9, so now you're basically at full health. But it's 9 lower. But don't erase it. Put it in pencil.
Okay.
And so while she does the paperwork, this guy is going to move up to Penelope. Penelope, does a 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
You take 9 points of damage.
These
Okay.
are some beefy skeletons.
As it reaches out and touches you, can you please make a Constitution save?
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're bony skeletons.
15.
Cool. So, you feel, so it touches you on the shoulder as if to say, hey, with the negative energy. However, you feel that the damage radiates through your shoulder, and it seems like it's going to creep through the rest of your body, but you're able to kind of push it back, kind of get out of there in time. And so, you just take the damage.
Gotcha.
And that's it. Top of the order, it is Linda's turn.
Okay. So, what I would like to do, and tell me if I'm just saying this right, I would like to. Wait, am I out of order?
I'm first.
Oh,
Are you? Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
You're right.
I was looking at the
Sorry.
wrong initiative order.
Never
Talia,
mind.
you're next.
All right. I'm gonna use a trip attack on the skeleton.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Oh no. Okay, so that's that. And down. So a 27 to hit.
Yes, that is good enough to hit.
All right. He needs to pass a. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. And what's the?
And I'm gonna
what-
use my second attack to try to. Oh well, he takes damage too. Hang on. Well, I will attempt to.
So you're using your trip attack.
Yes.
And
So that's 7 damage on the trip attack.
Okay. So he takes damage. It's less than you expected, but he still takes damage. How does the
Now
trip
he's
attack
prone.
work? Yes. Okay. So now he's prone.
For until his turn, basically. I'm just knocking him prone. So whoever else hits him, he's
Okay.
prone.
Okay. So he's on his butt. I actually have a thing I can do for that. He is. Let's use. I'm gonna use pink. Pink
Okay.
means he's prone for now. P and P. So the pink means he's prone until he decides to get up. So it's really you knocked him prone. It's not even. No, not the X. So you knocked him prone. It's until he decides to take his movement to get up. He's stuck. Next is Penelope.
okay. So, since I've got this guy standing right in front of me, if I take a step back, am I going to trigger an attack of opportunity?
You could, yes. You could.
So, can I disengage, use my disengage, because I want to try to get over and grab the shroud and get out of dodge if possible.
Sure. So you could. You're a rogue, so you could use your cunning
Yep, that's
action
what-
to disengage,
Yep.
and that means that you can move around freely without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay. So, I'm going to go over to where the shroud is and grab it.
Okay. You've got it.
Okay. Can I also try to run away and bring it with, like, run out, or is that the end of what I'm allowed to do at this
I
time?
mean, so you have 25 feet of movement. And
Correct.
so,
And I only used 10 just now.
yeah, I would say you have to kind of like mantle up on top of this. So I would say that.
So that would be
about
fun.
5
Okay.
feet.
Cool. So then I will stay there and I will grab the shroud and stow it in my pouch so I can have it away.
Okay. And is that all of your actions? I think that's it. I mean, is there anything else you're gonna do?
Am I able to still attack, shoot an arrow, or no? Because I've done all the. I've used all my.
You would have to. What
I would
weapon
assume I'm
did you
done.
have on you?
I had already shot an arrow,
Okay,
so I'd use my bow was out.
So, since you probably to give you the benefit of the doubt, since you probably didn't. So the way that the turn goes is you have your movement, you have an action, you do have
Okay.
a free object interaction. So if you wanted to pick up the cowl or if you wanted to pick that burial shroud up and like toss it over your shoulder,
Gotcha.
you would
So
still
then
I would call that,
that
like
would
a
be
free
it.
object interaction, and then you could shoot
Cool.
an arrow. If you wanted to put it away, that would be a true action.
Fair enough. Then I'm going to
You-
choose to put it away so I don't drop the thing on the way out.
Okay,
Okay?
done.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, so Preston, what's your turn? I will figure out how to move the shroud while you tell me what you're doing. Oh, it turns out it's not as hard as I thought. Okay, Preston, what are you doing? I'm gonna just put it by the front entrance
Cool.
for sake of the map. But you know that it is in Penelope's possession. Preston, what are you doing? You're muted.
So I am. I want to get Penelope out of there. So I yell to Penelope, "Do you want out?"
Okay. Okay.
As part, and I have a spell prepared. I'm preparing to cast a spell based on her yes or no.
So
I can't respond though, right? Because it's not my turn.
So yeah, Mike, I think you and I are running into and this is, so typically speaking, I don't allow players to respond and talk to each other on each other's turns.
Okay, that's fine. Then
Some dungeon masters do. I don't, because I think it is convoluted, personally.
Okay, well, then with that in mind, I'm going to attempt to. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cause mayhem. I'm still around the corner. I'm going to just. I have clear line to the other skeleton. I'm going to target that one with a chromatic.
Okay.
Spear.
Okay. Go ahead and swing at it.
Set to flame.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. It takes 11 points of flame damage.
Sure. Okay.
And
as you would imagine, that works perfectly.
fantastic.
As it's all singed and sooty and gross. On top of being gross.
So I am going to take a couple steps. I'm going to use my move action. I'm going to take a couple steps back.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
All right. Next is Rory.
All right. Remind me again, because I haven't played like a weapon person yet. Prone is disadvantage to all ranged attacks, casting and otherwise, correct?
Yeah. Also, considering where you are and where it is, it's not only prone, but it has like half
Some
cover.
cover.
Because
Okay.
Thalia is standing menacingly over it after having just ninja tripped it. And there's like that guy.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I just don't think it's a great idea to shoot at the guy on the ground at the feet of your friend.
No, that's
Unless you
fine.
wanna put
I
an
just
arrow in Talia's butt.
wanted the clarification.
I mean, if you want to put an arrow in Talia's butt, go for it. But that's not friendly.
Okay. So I'm going to move off the steps and out a little bit so I have better positioning. And I'm going to knock an arrow. I almost said cast. Knock an arrow and shoot the other skeleton that is
Sure.
standing.
Sure. And so go ahead and shoot an arrow. You have a clear line of sight on that guy. No questions asked.
And I miss.
Yes, you
It's
do.
a 10. Okay.
Okay, and now these guys. So the guy that is prone, is going to, excuse me, he is going to attempt to stand up. He stands up, and kind of creaky, kind of makes a really weird noise. It's like some of the bones just kind of like rub against each other. It's very unnerving. And as it stands, it kind of gives like it just hauls off and tries to like throw a haymaker punch right at Thalia. Thalia, as it punches, it like throws this wild punch, as and it just, not only does it miss you, like it full like throws its arm like into your shoulder, and you feel some of the bones in its forearm breaking as it like just comes crashing down on your shoulder. You don't, it did not hit you. And then this, but he is standing. It is worth mentioning. This guy in the corner, is coming to get Rory.
No, you leave me alone.
Rory does a 17 hit.
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna punch you also.
Rude.
Anger issues.
You take 4 damage as he just, again, with the wild haymaker. It's kind of like, so this zombie, it's not a zombie, this is a skeleton, right? So it is held together by just luck at this point. This is old and dusty, and so it like moves, kind of like stumbles down the stairs and throws this wild haymaker, and you try to dodge out of the way, but you dodge into its fist, and it's just right into your nose, just right in the face. You take 4 points of damage.
Ouch.
And now we go to the top of the order, which is Thalia.
All right. I'm gonna roll to hit.
Sure.
18.
That's definitely gonna hit. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And 7 or whatever. And then I'm going to use the second action of my action surge to do another hit.
Sure, you can do that. Yay, fighters.
13.
To hit? That is
Yeah.
good enough.
Oh, okay, cool.
By this many.
And 6.
Sure, okay.
Or, yeah.
As
Least.
you see that, there is no blood involved, as these are skeletons, but it is bloodied at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Meaning that it is, you're on the back half on this one. You can start to see its bones kind of cracking a little bit more. Some of whatever is holding it together is not really doing all that great. Next is Penelope.
All right. I am going to move and get off of this platform and
Sure.
come down. So I'm just moving forward 2. And then I'm going to cast Magic Missile. And I'm going to target 2 of them to the skeleton that is standing just outside the mausoleum, and 1 to the one in front of Talia.
Sure.
So
Do it.
first roll is going to go to the guy that's outside. Okay.
You don't have to
and-
roll to hit. Magic
Oh,
Missile
you have to roll to
hits
hit?
Cool
Sorry.
thing about Magic Missile.
I forgot about
Magic
that
Missile
one.
is automatic.
Okay. So it's rolled a d4, and then it's +1 if I'm reading the rule right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 4 points of damage to the guy outside.
Yep.
Okay. Second one's going to be 2 points, 2 additional points of damage to the guy outside.
Okay.
And then 5 points of damage to the guy in front of Thalia.
Okay.
Cool.
Good damage. Good game. Good damage.
Thank you.
Well done, everybody. Next is Preston. Preston, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to. All right, I've already cast one chromatic orb. I'm gonna try to do it again. So chromatic orb on the target directly in frame.
Sure.
Uh, 24.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Set to flame, of course.
Ooh.
I do 20 points of flame damage to it.
Ooh.
Okay. It is at this point. It is covered in soot. Nothing catches fire. But you can tell that this one is also similarly. I mean, the game effect is bloodied, but it is in really rough shape.
And I will end my turn and hold my ground.
Sure. Next up is Rory.
What is the rule for switching out weapons?
So you can, as an action, I mean, you could just drop your bow and then, as an action, draw your weapon. Generally speaking,
So I wouldn't be able to use it in this round.
You know what? I will allow it for now, and then we'll figure it out and make sure for next turn for next.
Okay.
Game. But because it's cool, I will allow it, assuming you drop your weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna drop the bow just next to me, and then I have a short sword, but I kind of would rather it be a dagger that I can quick draw and throw, to kind of use it as within the action.
Yes, you may draw your weapon and attack at the same time. I googled it while you were asking me that, so yes, you may.
Okay.
You could do either of those things. If you would like to draw a short sword to swing with a short sword, you can. If you want to draw a dagger to throw a dagger, you could. Either of those are fine.
Okay, well, I only have on my character sheet for the short sword, so I'll use that for now.
Sure.
So 14.
That is good enough to hit.
All right, 9 points of damage, and then I'm going to let the Swarm Keeper hit again. For 3.
Sure. It is. So you slash with the short sword, or thrust with the short sword. I don't know which one you do with that. I think it's a piercing weapon. So you stab with the short sword, get in there, and it is on its last legs, and one of your crows comes swooping down from the distance and smashes into its torso, and it collapses into a pile of bones.
Sweet.
Wait, that's not so. Yeah, so it is a pile of bones at your feet.
Awesome.
Didn't have to die to worship you.
Next is the Skelly Man in front of Talia. And he's going to do another Haymaker Punch that is going to miss wildly. And that ends its turn. Now we're at the top of the order. Talia, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna roll to hit. 17.
Okay. That's good enough to hit.
And 4 damage.
Sure.
The attack dice love me today.
Okay. All right. Next up is Penelope.
All right, I am going to shoot at that last skeleton with my bow that I still have out. So that is. Let's see if it saved that. Yes. Reroll is a handy thing. Oh, and I missed terribly at a 6. I would presume.
Yes. That is
Yes.
that's a big miss. Preston, what are you up?
I'm just going to I'm going to move Preston into line of sight
Yep.
to target the. Oh no, I'm not going to drag it like
You
that.
can see it.
All right, I'm going to take a shot at him with a flame bolt. Just my usual,
Okay.
just my base cantrip. Does 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. It takes 10 flame damage.
Okay. You hit it full in the head with that flame damage, and its head just comically just kind of pops right off, like the cork of a wine bottle, and is just kind of lightly covered in flame as like the cobwebs kind of puff with flames, and then it falls down. And then as soon as the head hits the ground, just the bones just kind of collapse. And this is a pile of bones at your feet. We are out of initiative.
Woohoo!
I'm going
I-
to put my bow back on my back.
I hit the ground, collapsing in exhaustion. Thoroughly winded.
I am gonna go walk over to Talia and put my hand on her shoulder and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Thank you.
All right. While she's doing that, I'm going to go over and I'm just going to carefully rifle through the bone dust,
Sure.
trying to use like a tool so I'm not digging with my hands. I'm going to try to use a tool of some sort from my pouch to just not, I don't want to be elbow deep in the dust.
Oh, I get it. I totally get what you're doing, and that's totally fine.
Yep. Checking through, and then once I finish looking through that guy, if I don't, I'm going to head over to the other guy afterwards.
Sure. In your head, you go, maybe I should get gloves for this next time. And the so while you're digging around, you're poking your knife in and moving stuff around. You come across its hand, which is somehow still collected, and it has a ring on it.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to take that very carefully, trying to minimize any possible contact with the bones.
Sure. As soon as the ring comes off, the hand just kind of crumbles into all its little pieces.
Okay. And I'm going to go check that other guy, do the same thing very diligently, trying to keep my skin from making any kind of contact.
Sure. Make a dexterity check, please.
Gladly. There it is. So many numbers.
Talia, you got 10 points of healing, by the way.
Thank you.
She actually
Okay.
does not.
Oh, that's right, because her minimum health is low.
You feel the positive energy course through you, and it does not feel like it has any effect. Which
We need.
does feel real weird, because you have definitely been healed before by her, and so that just did not go as planned. Linda, as you're kind of again rifling through this one, you find a pouch with a few small rough cut gems, but nothing, other than that, just a pouch with some rough cut gems in it.
Rory, I don't think that worked.
Yeah, I mean, Vera taught me how to do this, but I don't. I touch you, I do the thing, and it's supposed to heal you. I don't really know why it didn't. We'll have to figure that out.
Maybe Brother Thaddeus can help.
Maybe. We should. I mean, we got to report back to him anyway.
Can Dana, can you
Yeah.
have Rory make an Arcana check?
Sure.
That could very well just be a straight intelligence roll. Preston, if you are watching this and aware, you could also make an Arcana check if you want.
25.
14.
Both of you know that there are certain undead that can temporarily remove, that can basically temporarily kind of reduce your physical prowess, basically limit your max HP That's the
Okay.
game thing.
So
So
basically-
you have heard of monsters and spells that can do that. Generally speaking, they are either temporary or can be fixed by a cleric of some skill.
Okay. Yeah, we should definitely check in with Thaddeus, and I think he can fix you up.
Callie, I think the next time we go out adventuring, in honor of of these fights, you should pack some hammers with you. I hear skeletons don't like crab crackers. I know they're not as elegant as your swords, but I'm thinking the next time we need to literally crack skulls.
I think I may need to get my sword's blessed or something.
Strengthened
or-
or something.
I heard rumors that you guys have a bag of holding full of magic items back at Brother Thaddeus's that you guys needed to divide up. And one
That
of,
is
Yeah.
true.
and one of those
Mhm.
items is a magic sword. Just a thought.
Which I think we discussed me taking and I forgot.
I mean, y'all didn't. I mean, Brother Thaddeus is happy to hold your stuff. So anyway, you have the burial shroud. The dust has settled, as it were. What are you gonna do next?
Take a short rest.
I think we should head back to town.
So
We're only a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not resting here.
My
Okay.
two questions are: one, what are you gonna do with the door to the mausoleum?
Oh,
Close the door.
yeah.
I
Ow.
vote we close the door.
Close
Oh.
that door.
Oh, that's right. It took a lot of strength to push it open.
Can I put the skeleton pile that died at my feet back in the mausoleum?
You absolutely can.
Yeah, those bones need to be thoroughly yeeted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw them back in just in case they reanimate at some point. Just
Sure.
on your own time.
So, absolutely, no questions asked. You're able to very quickly, there's some dust left over, but by and large, it's a pile of bones. You can pick it up without a big problem and just kind of toss it. It might take a couple of handfuls, couple of trips, but you're not dumb. You know how to play pickup sticks. Pick up bones.
It's been yoded back into the mausoleum.
Yep, and then you yode it into the mausoleum. So, there is still the question of the door.
We need to shut it.
I think we try to shut it.
Yeah, we know we need to shut it. The question is how, because we pushed it open and it has no handle.
That's okay. It'll take me a little. I can do it. It'll just take me a second.
Okay.
This is going to be. I'm going to be nervous as hell. So I go inside the mausoleum. Are there windows? Are there
No.
anything that lets you see anything?
Nope.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to close it all the way, but I'll at least close it as much as I can. I am a frail magician, so I just start leaning and pushing my weight at the door as much as I can.
I would like a
Until-
strength check, please.
Lol. Watch my luck. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need a minute. I rolled a 6.
Okay. So you rolled up your sleeves and you give it a real Sheldon Cooper lifting a couch kind of effort.
All right.
And it is a stone thing. It is not, you're not moving it in a position that it is not supposed to be in, so it does slide a little. It's like moving a fridge, right? It moves a little bit at a time. It's not like it's on a track, but
Okay.
So you get the sense that if you just pushed at this for an hour or two, you could probably get it going. How are you going to handle the stuck inside when you finally push it closed?
Oh well,
problem?
if it's open just a crack, I'm gonna just teleport. I just have to see the outside.
Okay.
And you teleport somebody else?
I would have to be able to see them. It's much more effort for me to teleport someone else than it is for me to teleport me. So I was trying to conserve our resources in case we get harangued on the road.
Okay.
If you would you like to give this a
I-
push,
I,
Miss
I
Tally?
just don't see hanging out here for an hour
Yeah.
being a
Again,
smart move.
trade places. Here's the deal. When you see me cast magic and you get this woozy feeling, just hold your breath and kind of just lean into it.
I'm not going to fight you on pulling me out of this.
No. It's just it when I teleport someone, it feels like you're about to fall. And if you fight that urge, then the magic gets wasted. So you need to choose to fall.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay.
I trade places with Tally, and I just I take a swig of water and pull out my magic wand.
Okay, so you are.
Is there an equivalent to taking a 20 on shoving this door?
Well, no, but
Okay.
because that doesn't because you could never take a 20. That's like an epic thing. But
I'd
more or
ask.
less, no, I get it. But for sake of ease, it is much easier for you to move the door than it is for the frail wizard. So it takes an attempt, not nearly an hour, but after like a good minute or so of shoving, you have shut the door to the point where it is open only a crack, and Preston can still see you, barely, albeit just barely, but the magics would work.
With that in place, I cast Vortex Warp. So part of the rules for the spell, the target must make a Constitution save. They can choose to fail it.
Yeah, I'm still not going to fight you on you
Yeah.
pulling me out of the
Okay,
mausoleum.
So because you failed your Constitution save, I can now teleport you, and it's got a range, but really I'm just gonna teleport you right next to me.
Boof. Done. So the door is almost all the way shut. It's less than a finger's width open, so you were able to get it just about all the way shut.
That's probably as best as we could do.
Okay.
We should also lock the gate to the mausoleum on the way out. The cemetery on the way out.
How
Was there a
rickety are
lock?
these? There wasn't a lock.
Yes, there was. There was the latch
No.
on the gate.
Well, there was a latch, not a lock. A latch is like one of those like little like
It's a doorknob,
loop
basically.
like one of those like loops with like the hook thingy that hooks
Well,
into it. It was not
Let's make
locked.
let's make sure we put that back where we found it on our way out as well.
Or so help me.
Or so help us.
Okay.
I just
Great. So you walk out. The last person latches the cemetery, and you walk back to town uneventfully. It's a beautiful day to be recovering from necromantic energy soaring, like pulsing through your body.
Vera is
yeah,
going to be
feels-
so
Awesome.
and Vera is going to be so concerned. We need to get a snack ready. Like it needs to be
She's making the snacks.
no, but we need to have an additional snack. It needs to be like, here's this snack. Oh, by the way, Tally got drained, and then here's the other snack. It's like a compliment sandwich, where we tell her the bad news, but food is involved, so she doesn't get.
Well, I suspect you will be able to do that next time on Coils of Destiny, because with that, episode 2, 2 extra cooks, or the Hot Mess Express on the way to the cemetery, one of those two has completed. Thank you very much to our wonderful viewers this week. including we had some new people in the chat, and all that. So thank you very much. And I would like to thank my 4 players, the well ones, who are holding down the fort for our 6 squad. They will be back in 2 weeks for episode 3, where we do all the stuff that we were supposed to do this week, before we went on a nice little side mission. And so everybody, thank you very much. Like I said, we'll be back next week for the Engaged Family Gaming podcast. And until next time, don't forget to get your family game on. We'll see everybody soon. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.